Hi everybody. Imagine that your boss asks you to create a PowerPoint presentation in very short period of time about the subject of adult education. You need to create the document, you need to create the PowerPoint presentation, and because you're going to go into this new branch in the company you work for, you also have to create a website talking about adult education. How do you do that so quickly? That's what we're going to be looking at. Let's check it out. First, we are going to be using Gamma. I know that I talked about this before, about creating a PowerPoint presentation using an AI, but it was a different tool. It was called Elena. This one is quite interesting. Let's take a look. So first I go to gamma.app and I clicked on login and it brought me to this place here. And notice that if you were doing it from the company, you could use team or company, but in my case it's personal. And because I logged in with my name, Nayla Scott's Workspace it is. I could change it, but I'm okay with that. And I click on Create Workspace. So they want to know why am I using this, right? How do I plan to use Gamma? I am going to go with for work. Now, what kind of work do you do? Well, I am a software trainer. And I'm gonna go with consultant since I could choose other, but I'm gonna go with consultant. And how did you hear about us? Well, I heard about them from YouTube. And then I click on Get Started. Now here are my questions. So what it is that I want to create, right? And how do I want to create it? So first of all, I can paste in text if I already know. So if I have notes, an outline, or content that already exists, I could paste in the text. Or I could use a prompt, which is the instructions, right? And this is the one I'm going to be using. But let's talk about the other one. I can import a file or URL to enhance existing documents and presentations or web pages. That's another option. Well, we're gonna go with this one here because we want to use the one line prompt. And I click on continue. So look at the three options I have here. Gonna be a presentation, a web page, or a document. Now, here are the, how many cards I want to see, right? If I want to see more than 15, I need to pay. Okay, so that's the plus, but we are okay here with 8. And notice there's some samples of prompts that you can use. Market opportunity, sales pitch for a consulting service, better cards for a SaaS product, cross-cultural management, best practices, and so on. Okay, but what I want to do is to create a presentation about adult education for a Train the Trainer course. And I generate the outline. And there you go. Okay, so like I said, there were 8 cards, and these are the cards, right? Because you were wondering, what are the cards? Those are the cards. So the importance of adult education, understand adult learners. So if this is what you like, okay, you could add another card. And then you click on continue. And this is your theme preview, right? You can change the fonts and the colors. So there's a link. So it basically shows you a preview of what it's going to look like. This is the template that's used on the right hand side. You could change to this one if you prefer, or whatever other one you like. Okay, and there are many examples down here you can take a look at. This one, for instance. So as you select one, you can see right away what it looks like. Anyhow, I am going to keep this one here that has red in it because I like red. And I click on generate. And there you go. Right in front of you, it tells you exactly everything that you needed to know about adult education. That's your presentation. So if you like what you created, right, I am happy with the output. And then I can also create something else. I'd like to, again, with the generate, right, from a one line prompt, I'd like to create a document this time. And I would like to create a document, create a document about adult education for a train the trainer class, and I just generate the outline. There you go. And then we click on continue. Now notice that also before, from the previous one, we could have something like professional, right? We can choose what we want from here. And you can select them all at once as well. If I wanted to select professional only, these are my options, right? If I deselect it, I can select everything else. Like I can select whichever one I prefer. So then I go with title. And this is your primary button, and secondary button looks like this. And I just click on generate and away it goes. And there you go. Now, if I don't like the theme, right, I can edit the theme right here at the very top. I could also, from here, I could start presenting right away. I can, there are some smart layouts here on the right hand side. I can look at the basic blocks that are right here, the heading 1, heading 2, the block quote. So what it will all look like, the images if you have any. You can also have your images right here, and also videos if there are any. So you can, Vimeo can get videos from YouTube. So there's different places you can do that from. And you can embed the apps and websites into your document as well. You can also have your charts and diagrams with a specific look, and the smart layouts that you have here as well. And finally, the forms and buttons. You can add Calendly, you can add a Google form, a button, a clickable button that can link to other pages, or an email. So those are all options that you can have, okay? And if I wanted to create something else, I could create a website, for instance. But I think we were able to see exactly how this looks like, and this document looks really, really nice. You can also have a quick tour of the editor, and when you click on show me a quick tour and it begins the tour, it will show you for you to insert a widget, what it's for, and you click next, and then it shows you here the slash menu at the top. Okay, and you click next, and then you can add cards as well, and you can come here, you can add the cards here, right here. This one here, you can add a card with AI. And the last one, which was the one that I chose here, add from a template. You can also add from template, and you can select which template you want to use. When I click on next on my little tour, I can look at the film strip. So for me to navigate between cards. Okay, so here you can have a list view or the film strip to view. So these show you the different tiles basically. When you click on next, you can create a theme from here, which we already looked at. When you click next, you can share this with other people, or you can export this as a PDF or a PowerPoint, and then you can present. You can present your Gamma. And we can click on present so you can see what it looks like. You see? So this is my presentation right here. And if I use my arrows on my keyboard, I can go on to the next screen. Now continue, and I can press the escape key for me to return to where I was with all the tools. When I click on next, I can edit with AI, which is right here, okay, at the very top. Here's your edit with AI, and you can improve your writing, you can fix spelling and grammar, you can translate, you can make it longer or shorter, you can simplify the language, you can be more specific, and you can try a different layout and make this more visual, you can add an image, and you can convert the timeline. Okay, so this is what you can do. You see the timeline right here? You can convert it, or you can go to the original. And this is your timeline right there. Okay? Right, for each one of those, you can actually come over here. You can select this item, for instance, and you could technically select a layout for here, see? Or look at this, you can edit the layout. You can add an item before this one, or add an item afterwards. You can duplicate this one. You can select a color for it, or you can just delete it altogether. Okay? And if I go back to original, here it is. And notice that we also can change the focus point. We can remove the background. We can surprise me, this one here. See when you click on it. And then we can edit the accent image and remove the accent image. Okay? And then when I click on next, it shows me the close the tour button right there, and it's done. We can also look at translating this from English to Portuguese, which is a language, Portuguese Brazil, translate, and there you go. So it will translate to Portuguese, and then I can go to original, there you go, and I go to translated, there you go. So it's really cool, especially if you are going between different languages, right? Your company is multilingual and you need to have different languages. will be using this, this is great. You can also add notes right here. So you can follow your notes when you're doing your presentation. You can have the notes for a presentation if this is what you're going to be doing. And you can also add an image. If you had an image, you wanted to use an image from your own selection of images, you can add the image right here. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is our gamma. I hope you liked it. I think this is a very useful tool. I will leave a link in the description for you. And of course, if you like this video, if it was useful to you, just leave it a like or subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment. I would like to hear what you have to say. I'll see you next week. Until then, bye!